My name is David Bowie. I'd rather have a blowy from Ronson and Eno, but not that guy, Fripp, 'cause he looks like a mushroom. And welcome to episode 37 of Prog Review, though today it's more of a pop review than a progressive rock album, because loyal subject and Canadian hippomancy suggested I take a look at David Bowie's Scary Monsters and Super Creeps album back from 1980s and do my thing. So let's see what I can come up with. I shall try and remember what it was like back in 1980. I think I'm there now. Well, the album opens with all manner of rattles and clicks and sound effects, just to prove that Bowie's, down with the kids. He's a bit left field, and then the song begins, and we hear a guitar riff from Robert Fripp, because Fripp is on the album quite a lot, and what you hear is a sequence of notes that wouldn't be amiss from the League of Gentlemen album that was out around the same period. I mean, one could say that Fripp's being a bit of a minor man about it. It's pretty standard stuff. The song, it's just a rock song, but it's embellished with Fripp's guitar, and it's no game. It's a bit of a lackluster opening when you compare it to the rest of the album. I think it, in terms of the track listing and the way the album's been put together, I think it'd probably be more worthy of of appearing later in the proceedings. For me, the only saving grace is the Fripp guitar solo, and that's because I'm a Fripp fanboy. This is followed by a song called Up the Hill Backwards, and it always reminds me of an Eno song for some reason. It's always like an Eno song that he never recorded. In fact, I even expect Eno to be providing the backing vocals on this, but alas, he's not there. There's no Eno on this record at all, and it's a great shame. I like this song a lot. It's daft, a bit left field, and it kind of rings my bell. We also get another Fripp guitar solo that's worthy of appearing on Here Come the Warm Jets. In fact, I'm feeling a little blank, Frank. And there's more burning Fripp guitar, which opens up the title track. And now the album finally hits full flight. They've hit the ground running, and Bowie does his Anthony Newley impression. And I love the title track. It's got a good pace to it, and the staccato Fripp guitar notes are very emblematic of the time and the place. Hey, if only Fripp had been invited to join Tin Machine, I wonder what that would have brought. It's a really big, bombastic song, and I think it's great. My only complaint is that 5 minutes 14, it kind of overstays its welcome in places. It could have been cut down, slimmed down, but that was the 1980s. It was a time of bombast and excess. Well, the song that comes next is the song that launched the 1980s. It's Ashes to Ashes. This is a part of my childhood. It's burnt into my memory the same way that Substitute or Bohemian Rhapsody, hearing those songs on the radio for the first time. And then, of course, you get the iconic video from David Mallet featuring Steve Strange and the Blitz Kids of the New Romantic movement. And it kind of harks back to the days when people took risks with pop videos, and it was still an art form, and it's a fine example of what you could do with a small budget and a bulldozer on a beach. And to round it off, it is a continuation of the Major Tom mythos. And this song, the lyrics are so dense with meaning, so many layers to it, that you could spend probably years studying the imagery and the many references that are held therein. Fantastic record it really is. And then whammo, boom boom. It's a double punch. Dum 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 dum. It's a double header. There's fashion, lurches into view, complete with some of the wonkiest and burning frick guitar he's ever committed to vinyl. And at the time, I absolutely loved the song. I used to sing along to it as a 10-year-old, and loved the accompanying video. And again, it was kind of weird because it was from the same person that did Ashes to Ashes, but they were, the videos were completely different, aspects, light years away from each other. But that was, like I said, that was the time when music was exciting, and the lyrics. What's not to love about the lyrics? It's a timeless lyric, discussing the merits or not of fashion from a man who was at the height of fashion, a guy that led fashion. It's kind of a weird irony there. He's kind of mocking it, that he's the guy that helmed so many movements himself. Fashion, eh? Bollocks, more like. And then we have Teenage Wildlife. To me, it's kind of a whiff of Heroes about it. If you listen to it, kind of has the same kind of feel. But unfortunately, compared to the previous two tracks, it's not too good. I'm losing interest now. Even Fripp on guitar, can't bring me back from wanting to hit the skip button. And it's too long. It's too meandering, and it's shapeless and formless compared to what's gone before, the two stronger tracks that have appeared before. Again, the pacing of the record, I think if they change the track listing, it might not be so uneven, but again, that's just me speaking. I think they put some of the good stuff too close together, and they should have spread it out, and it made the filler feel a bit better. And now I'm looking for the exit. The money shot's already happened, isn't it? Scream Like a Baby isn't so much a song title, it's more an instruction. Because if you can make your way through the song without rocking back and forth and crouching into the fetal position and possibly soiling yourself in desperation, then you're a better man than me, Gunga Din. Even the weird crazy effects on the vocals in the middle of the song aren't enough to make it stand out for me. I'm sure there may be people out there that love it. I don't. Then we've got Kingdom Come, and when I heard it, it reminded me of the opening of Absolute Beginners of drums. You get the feeling that Bowie reuses his own riffs and ideas. And despite being, it's pretty standard Bowie filler, and he even borrows the big book of rhymes that Noel Gallagher uses on his songs. But the Fripp guitar, once again, is a nice distraction. Without that, I'd probably just fast forward. No good for me. So, by now, I wouldn't make it to the end of the record, because You're Young. It's another big, massive lunged croon from Davy Jones, and it's wearing me down. I've hit the fatigue wall. I can take no more of it. And one thing you kind of realise on this album is without the input of Eno, because Eno did the Berlin trilogy, the previous three albums, without Eno's input, Bowie quickly loses a lot of his playfulness and fun. There's the experimental side of him's gone. There's not that much fun on the record as compared to, say, Lodger. And then the album finally comes to an end, and it's all wrapped up with a reprise of It's No Game. And if it was bad enough hearing it the first time, we have to go through a similar idea again. And for me, it just whiffs of filler, and the plodding bass line just kind of, it kind of underpins the monotony of the whole track. Really, I was bored. And on the version I bought the Ryko disc edition, which had 4 extra tracks, which were nice. But there's no point in me mentioning those because they're not canon, are they? Really, you've probably got the standard edition. But if you do pick it up, it's got the Alabama song on, which I've got a soft spot for, especially when I'm drunk and on the search for girls to appease my baser instincts. So, it's not prog. Come on. This album's not prog. It's never going to be prog. Not even if Rick Wakeman appeared on it, it would not be prog. It's just a pop record. It's good fun though, and guitar textures from Fripp are well worth checking out. Again, the problem is there's filler on this. It's not Bowie's strongest record. There are some. That's my screen blanking out. Screensaver. It's not Bowie's strongest record. There's some filler on there. There's some good singles. And I think if he made the album a bit smaller, there's a classic album in there somewhere. So, onto the rating. I'm going to give this a decent 3.5 Pierots out of 5. That's 3.5 Pierots out of 5, and we're at the end. We've come to the end of this particular review. My name's been Darren Locke, and you've been listening to me discussing the merits of David Bowie's Scary Monsters and Super Creeps. And today, you know what the message is. This time, you better pop on, or pop along, or pop off. I don't know, I need to work on that. Go on, clear off, you kids. Get off my lawn.